This is a special edition of KSL News.
Welcome back. This next story has drawn attention from really all around the world for nearly 4 years now. The case of Lori Vallow Daybell, who back in April went to trial for the murders of her 2 children and conspiracy to murder her husband's late wife.
As news specialist Lauren Steinbrecher explains, people from around the country swarmed the courthouse for the several-week trial, waiting for that final verdict.
Lori Vallow Daybell faced a jury in a Boise courtroom nearly 3 years after her children's remains were discovered buried on her husband Chad Daybell's property near Rexburg, Idaho. Going into her 6-week trial, Judge Stephen Boyce had already separated Lori and Chad's trials and took the death penalty for Lori off the table.
What she wanted was money, power, and sex.
Prosecutors argued Vallow Daybell's guilt on 6 charges, including conspiracy and first-degree murder of her 2 children, 7-year-old JJ Vallow and 16-year-old Tylee Ryan, and conspiracy to murder Chad's late wife, Tammy Daybell.
It didn't matter what obstacles she had to remove to get what she wanted.
Opening statements revealed Tammy died of asphyxiation and was murdered. In the weeks that followed, more revelations, including Tylee and JJ's causes of death. For Tylee, homicide by unspecified means, and JJ, asphyxiation.
Was JJ trying to get the bag off his head? And could they be scratch marks trying to get the bag off of his head?
Prosecutors called dozens of witnesses and presented mountains of evidence. Perhaps the biggest bombshell, Lori's hair discovered stuck to the duct tape used to bind JJ's body.
It was like the biggest nail in the coffin. What more could you have put in there unless a picture of you while they were doing it?
It took less than 2 days for the jury to deliberate.
This is breaking news.
Everybody has started to line up here.
Dozens gathered for the verdict.
Is Lori Noreen Vallow not guilty or guilty of first-degree murder? Answer, guilty.
Everyone erupted in cheers, with family members elated and emotional.
My heart hurts. My heart hurts for these 3.
In July, Lori spoke publicly for the first time at her sentencing in St. Anthony, Idaho.
I mourn with all of you who mourn my children and Tammy.
Judge Boyce then handed down a life sentence with no parole.
We're really grateful for the outcome that came from it.
We know that justice was done.
Lori appealed her conviction. In late November, authorities extradited her to Arizona, where she pleaded not guilty to 2 conspiracy to commit murder charges, including for the death of her 4th husband, Charles Vallow. Chad Daybell is set to go to trial in April. Lauren Steinbrecher, KSL 5 News.